Oh, freaking tired.
Oops. Good morning, everybody. Growly, growly. We're here.
We make no guarantees about how awake we are.
Well, Valerie's on her way to North Carolina.
Is she? Well, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning out there. I mean, she doesn't have to catch her flight till noon, is it?
No, but she's going to her mother-in-law's house. That's where her niece is going to pick her up. You know, I think her niece probably wanted to hang out there for a few, talk to her grandma and stuff, and then to do it early, so that they had time to do all that. But yeah, time to drive. I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes or so, and then time to sit there and wait until her plane gets there and stuff. So
yeah,
all that good stuff. It's a waiting game.
it is.
Telling you what, I had a very active morning on eBay.
I had a great day yesterday. Had one sale this morning.
I had 3 sales yesterday, but they didn't pay until today. So two of them paid today. Then I had like 3 more sales this morning. So it was like pretty good.
I saw a lot of
cha-ching. One after the other.
But what's really good for me is I had some sales come in yesterday or the day before, but they didn't pay, which is really good because I'd run out of bubble wrap and my order came in yesterday evening, so it was like perfect timing.
Right.
Because a couple of the items wrapped up. But, tired. Can't seem to wake up this morning.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody else wants a wrench, let me know. I'm handing them out. We'll need some.
Why were you trolled yesterday?
Huh? What'd you say?
Were you trolled yesterday? Did you need some wrench bashing going on?
Oh no, but it's always good to have extra wrenches in hand, Okay, and I got you, Anissa. You want one, Eric?
I already got one.
Okay. Yeah. I gave you one.
I have one.
No, I mean, Anissa, she said she was just teasing.
Can't get one to fishing and picking, though.
Yeah, he says he doesn't want to be a tool. Too late. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm like Oprah this morning. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good to have multiple moderators in here, just in case I'm over there doing something and I come back and all hell's breaking loose. I need somebody in here that's gonna take charge.
If there wasn't such idiots out there, it wouldn't be a big deal. But
I know. Yeah, or sleeping at the computer. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I really try not to do that, but I'm such a baby about it.
You fail miserably at it. Let me put it that way.
I know. I'm such a baby because I fight sleep, and yeah, I really do. I'm like, no, I'm awake. I'm good, and then 5 minutes later.
If you're moderating the show, it's one thing, but if you're that's the participant, it's time to get off when you're that asleep. I mean, I've done that where I'm so tired. I gotta get with it. I'm just not gonna mess around with it.
And I work nights, so I'm like all screwed up all the time. Seems like I never get on a regular schedule. because I really try to sleep at night whenever I'm off, and it sucks. I mean, I get good sleep, but I'm
You
screwed
gotta
for the
stop
next
doing
week. I know.
that. I
I
mean,
know.
it's
And today I go to work at 2 p.m. and get off at 8 p.m.
what?
because yeah, because we have tests that we have to take, like on the computer,
And you can't do that at night?
not while I'm working the register. I mean, it's been just too busy. So
My dumb ass, I would be no. I would say no. I'm not changing up my sleep schedule just so I can take these tests. Either you arrange it, you give me another person at night so I can take them at night, or I'll take them when I get to them.
it's like already come to the point to where they have to be done, or else I'm not going to be able to work until they get done. You know what I mean?
And that's when you say, okay, well, you need to get somebody in here one night, and I'll do them all night long. But I'm not changing my sleep schedule up.
Yeah,
You got to put your
I
foot down.
don't really mind. I don't really mind because
It's not a mind thing. It's a control thing. I mean, it's hey, you want me to come in and do them? All right. Well, the day my next day, you're going to pay me, whatever overtime it takes me to get me done.
I don't know what the hell that was. Something fell off of something. I don't want to look.
Dust pile attacked. No, it's poor planning on your management's part.
Well, and I don't even mind because tonight, like,
It's not that you mind. I'm not saying I get it. You're a good employee. You don't mind, but that's poor planning on your management's part that they haven't scheduled these out for you. And all they had to do was really have you come in. If they wanted you to come in come in a half an hour early and knock out one test at a time for the next week.
yeah, guess how many I have to take today?
I don't know.
17.
Yeah. Okay. For the last, yeah, I don't know how long it takes to take them. So,
They're about 30 minutes apiece.
yeah, I would have been okay for you got to get all these done. You got a month to get them done, Sally, for the next, your next every day. I want you to come in a half an hour early and knock out a test before you start work.
Hank making fun of me. Sally, we either got to help you clean out or send you protective gear like helmet and body armor. No, I'm not ignoring you, Eric. I don't think it's all my manager's fault. She hasn't been given time to give us time to do it. You know what I mean? Like the extra time to do it. It's been actually she fought for more time because we haven't had the extra people. We haven't had,
And as a person who worked at the district level, I would say to your manager, not my problem. You had more than enough time to figure this out, get it done.
But she hasn't really because she was on leave for surgery. So basically it's come down to
who's running her store?
I think it's district manager's fault, to tell you the truth, because district manager wouldn't give extra time to do it.
He's not required to. The time is built into your daily time to do this stuff. It's your manager's job to schedule these things out to make sure they get them done. How long have you had to take these 17 tests?
All year.
Okay, there you go. You can't tell me you couldn't have figured out your manager couldn't have figured out a way to schedule these 17 tests for over the last 8 months. Yeah, she could have. See,
I just don't think she had the extra time to do that.
There's no extra time.
To give us to do it. I don't think she had that.
You don't need extra time. It's a matter of writing your schedules correctly. It's a matter of
it is extra time because she gets
you get a certain amount of scheduling, right? You get a certain amount of
right.
All right. So
right.
I'm going to have Bob, who normally comes in at 4 o'clock, because Sally comes in at midnight, and I don't know what your schedules are, but Bob comes in at 4. Today's going to come in at 4:30, because we have coverage because there's more than one of us working it from 4 to 4:30. Bob's going to come in at 4:30, and he's going to stay over in half an hour. He's going to stay till 12:30 while Sally knocks out a test. And I'm going to do that once a week for the next 17 weeks, and I'm not spending any extra time. I'm not really messing with people's schedules. I'm just having him come in a little bit later. So then this is test. Sally, you get in at midnight. You sit down and you do that test. You get it done because you have to have that test done before Bob leaves at 12:30. Then you start your normal schedule. It's all you have to do.
Right.
And there's no extra.
But that extra time though.
There's no extra time.
There is though.
No.
If you're having him if you're scheduling him late to stay over.
He's coming in late.
Okay. And so that's extra time.
Who's the salaried manager?
Not me.
No, not you. Your store manager is salaried. And so she covers that half hour.
Oh, not at midnight.
No. She covers the 4 to 4:30 half hour.
Okay.
And then he covers you in the evening. He's working his normal 8 hours or whatever the schedule is. I'm just giving you hypotheticals. He wouldn't work his normal shift. All he's done is he's come in a little late and he stayed a little late, but it's the same. He's worked the same amount of hours. The hours haven't been spent. I was going to spend those hours no matter what. I'm just freeing you up to take those tests.
Yeah.
It's all about how you write your schedules. And because you have such a long time, you're talking about 8 months to do something in, it's easy to do.
Right.
You just can't, it's very easy to blame the district or the company for not allocating the proper hours, when I will tell you what the company line is. We give you enough hours to get everything done. It's not our fault that you're not productive during those hours, or you got behind and I don't have any hours to give you to catch up when everybody else didn't have to catch up. If you ever go to a store that's failing, you look at a store and they're like, oh, we don't have enough hours. Well, everybody else has enough hours. You didn't use those hours productively. Either you got bad employees or you have a bad manager. It doesn't really matter what. Hours that aren't worked productively, and we all do it in our own jobs. If we don't work productive hours, we get behind. I can list 5 items an hour for the next 8 hours. I can list 40 items a day. But if I piss off on 4 of those hours on Facebook, I'm not going to be very productive. It's really simple. Now, your guys are dictated by customer service and all that as well, but there's ways to do that type of stuff. I was the same way. When I was first hourly, I started working the same way until I got to the district level. I realized where they were coming from, and it makes sense.
I don't think so.
I know you don't.
Because she's already got her own stuff to do, her own tests to take.
Mm-hmm. But she's salaried.
Right.
Okay, that doesn't mean she works 8 to 5. That means she works 8 until the job's done. That's what salary. That's when you accept that salary position, you're not going to work 40 hours a week. You're going to work 60 to 70 hours a week.
Well, no, they're only allowed to work.
No, she's required to work 50. Okay, that's the difference. She's required to work 50. She's salaried. Doesn't matter how you work till the job's done. But see, when you have a bad manager or somebody who is not managing correctly, that means that they're going to work more than that. They're going to work 60 hours. When I work salaried, I usually work 65 hours a week.
Yeah.
But I wasn't required to work 65 hours a week. I had to be in my stores at 9 o'clock. I could leave my stores at 5 o'clock. And I had to work a half a day on a Saturday. But I was in my stores usually at 8 o'clock, and I didn't leave until 6 or 7. That was my choice.
Right.
But that's because I wanted to do extra things, or I had longer drives, depending on what was going on. But that's the whole point about being a salaried manager, is you no longer are tied to an hourly schedule. Yes, you have to be there for X amount of hours. Doesn't mean you leave at X amount of hours. It means you leave when the job's done.
Yeah.
So, it's up to her. She's, if you have a salaried manager that says, I'm working 50 hours and nothing more, every company I've ever worked for, that manager would last about a month and a half.
And she's been there for 11 years.
Yeah, that's your district manager's fault. Now you can blame that on your district manager.
And he's been there for years too.
Yeah, that's non-productive use of time. That's why you pay. That's why you take the job as a salary manager. It sucks. You sacrifice some time to make sure that you get the same paycheck every week. And it was worth it for me to always make sure I knew exactly how much dollars were coming in every week. to know. And time was the one thing I could sell. You know, it's hard to get because the salary money is good when you get into store management, especially retail. Salary money is real good.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who have no formal education are making $70,000-$80,000 a year, but they've got work experience and they work their way up, and they're really good.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Jim Cooncat's asking about. He's on good till canceled, I believe. That's what he said.
Oh, get rid of that, Jim.
Yeah, I tried it.
Good till cancel is depresses your listings. You don't get very high up in the search engines. 30-day is the minimum, where you actually have to go in and you can actually look at your items every time. Good to cancel means you forget about stuff. They do relist every 30 days, but you forget about them and you don't have a chance to make any changes and everything. I do 10-day listings as a max. 7 days sometimes. It depends on what I'm in the mood for, or if I forget to change it to 7 to 10. Because I want that going, gone, and newly listed every 10 days. I get I get 6 bumps a month based on that for every item.
Yeah, I just feel like my control is gone completely whenever I was on that. And like for a while I was finding that I still had it on good till canceled. I'm like, shit, I gotta change this. I gotta change it. And I would have to end them, because if I didn't, then I could never find when they were gonna end.
Yep.
I would forget about them, and it was a mess.
The only thing that I liked about good till cancel was it recorded when I listed the item. And so if I had trouble finding an item, I could often look at the other items I had listed the exact same time, and then it would help me jog my memory where it was at. And Rita actually said that she sold something yesterday and can't find it now.
Oh no.
You got a couple options. Do you think you're going to find it? If you think you're going to find it, you can always ship it a day late. You know, it's early in the day. You got all day to look for it too. If you totally can't find it, it's gone. You've looked everywhere you normally look, and or you possibly donated it or threw it away or sold it and didn't realize you'd sold it. You got 2 options. You can take the defect, which is the correct way to do it. You can find it and send it to them. You're going to be late, and it's going to be, some eBayers won't send to a separate address. So you're going to have that trouble. It depends on what the item is. You know, I typically will find something similar. For me, recently I had a soft drink advertisement item. I couldn't find. I still haven't found it, and I think I sold it, and I think it got relisted. And it's one of those items that you sell, you forget about it and move on. So I sent them another item that I had in my store, refunded their money, and sent them a huge apology note, and they gave me glowing feedback. So yeah. I sent them something, even though it wasn't what they ordered, but I gave them their money back right away, and I sent them a note with an explanation of what's going on with it, and prayed that they didn't complain. If they complained, I would have had to eat the item or eat the defect. But that's a way you can kind of get away from it, because people understand. People make mistakes. People understand that. Now as a cookbook, yeah. I would, if you have another cookbook, me personally, I would send them another cookbook. I would refund their money and say, you know what, I'm so sorry, I can't find the item. I know I'm disappointing you. I'm going to give you your money back, but I sent you a different cookbook. It's not the same, but please take it as my apology.
What cookbook was it? Because I have some that, I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you could also you can drop ship it from Amazon. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I don't like involving other sellers in my business where I've messed up, because there's no guarantee they're not going to mess up, and then I look doubly like an idiot.
The only problem I've had with ordering it off of Amazon is usually it doesn't hit the shipping handling time.
Yeah, which again, you can take that hit. You can always take because the handling time hits are not that big of a deal, because you get your window for defects is a lot wider. I think you can have 3% or 5% on that of your transactions, and it's only a 3-month window. Whereas um, the transaction defects, which is the big one you get, is out of stock. That's the nasty one.
Mm-hmm.
That one lasts a year, and you only get so much before you lose top rated sellers. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best I can tell you. I mean, that's what I would do, and I have done that in the past, and it's worked out just fine. Yeah, but one of these days, I'm sure I'm gonna do something like that, and the guy's not gonna be satisfied, and there's not a lot I can do about it. I'll take the defect. But that's where when you have a situation like that, that's when you realize you've got enough items up that you need an inventory system.
Yep.
The book was White Trash Gatherings from Scratch Cooking for that. Oh, you're not gonna have that one.
Yeah, I didn't have that one either. It's thundering here.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
I got a lot of cookbooks too, but I don't have that one either.
I've never even heard of that one. So it's not like it's and that's the problem is it's not a common one.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is keep look if you do run across it, you could even tell them, say, what, it's been misplaced, or I think it's been, if I find it again, if I find another copy, I'll send you it for free as well. I mean, I over deliver. I mean, I'm gonna kiss customer butt, and I'm gonna give them something free. I'm gonna give them their money back, and it's on me. That's my business. So, did you tape yourself together, Sally, or something? Nice.
I don't.
Get tape armor on,
I'm having problems today.
because you need a real tape gun. That's why.
Yeah, this one sucks.
I hate those ones. I mean, they're just too flimsy.
Yeah, and mine's broken. I have another one over there on the table, but too lazy to get up and get it. I'd rather wreck this one some more.
Yeah, Beth found another one on eBay. What you could do is you could order that and see if that guy will ship it to her address, and I would still refund her money and say it's on the way. It got misplaced. I ordered it from another seller, so I'm sending it to you at no charge, and go
You're
from
still
there.
gonna get the defect because you can't put the shipping in.
Well, you're gonna take a shipping defect is what you're gonna take, but that's not as bad as a out of stock defect.
Yeah.
And you can, and as soon as you get the tracking number from them, you can actually copy it over into your listing. So
No, you can't. It'll say I've tried that before. It'll say that tracking number has already been used. The only way you can do that is if you buy it through Amazon.
oh, well, I would take the defect on the shipping then.
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be less than not being able to find it and
The
not
only way you can put a
replacing it.
tracking number in more than once is if it's your own thing.
Yeah, and Beth also says you could always ship them an invoice to generate a number. If you order it from somewhere else and are getting it to them. But again, the key with it is make sure you give your customer your money back and apologize for the delay. And if you can satisfy them by ordering it from somebody else and then shipping it to them, they're going to be happy. Everybody loves getting something for free, and if they got to wait 3 or 4 extra days because you just got to come, they have to come to you first and then you ship it out to them again, they're going to be fine with that. The whole point is you want to avoid the defect, and you want to have that. You don't want to avoid a negative feedback over it. If you get on top of it and apologize, give them the money back, and say, what, I'm so sorry.
And chances are with cookbook buyers, chances are this is a sweet person who just wants one recipe out of that cookbook, or it was like a cookbook that
they had before or something.
So chances are it's going to turn out okay.
Yeah.
Chances are most cookbook buyers aren't douchebags.
True. But
sometimes when you get, no matter how much you try to satisfy somebody, you just can't make them happy. But usually people that buy cookbooks are pretty nice people.
Yeah. Sold that much.
maybe they're a killer.
Maybe.
You
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe they're substituting the meat.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why I'm a strong believer in having a decent inventory system.
Yep.
If you have that, then you've got, at least you're getting more organized. I mean, and if you get to that point where I've got currently I have 575 items. I can't remember where everything's at anymore.
No.
I don't look at it every day. It goes, if I looked at it every day, if it was like on shelving and everything, and I could remember, I would remember that. But since I keep mine in a separate room and boxes and totes, I can't remember it. Everything looks the same.
Sometimes I remember when I've listed things together, on the same day, and then sometimes I can find it that way. But I'm revising my whole inventory. I'm following my inventory system. I've always done the numbered bins, but sometimes you're listing, and you end up setting it somewhere and you don't put it in the numbered bin.
Well,
you have to be really diligent about that.
Yeah, the way to do it is to have empty bins, or bring your bin. The way I do it is I got a box right there. It's my A11 box. As I list this stuff, it'll go into the box. When that box gets filled out, I'll go and I'll grab another box. And that way, when I'm doing the listing, I'm actually pumping the number right in.
My problem was when I ended up in problems was when I was trying to refill the boxes that were becoming empty.
Yeah, that's a pain.
And then you end up not putting it in that box. I'll put it in that box out in the garage, and then all of a sudden you don't, and it ends up getting it somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I added up. I have 49 boxes, and I have 3 shelves, 49 boxes, and I have about 6 totes. And the totes hold clothing. And the boxes some of them are stuffed, some of them have one item in them. And what happens is, if I notice I've got a lot of one-item boxes, I'll grab all those boxes, I'll bring them out here, and then I'll consolidate them right there.
Yeah.
Take that consolidated box back, and then I'll have my empties ready to be refilled again.
Yeah.
You have to be diligent. I mean, any type of system that you decide you're going to put in place, you got to be diligent with it and follow it. And the nice thing about it is you don't have to do your entire inventory at once. You can sit there and say, I'm going to work. If you've got boxes and boxes of inventory, you say, I'm going to work on these 5 boxes. It does not take much time to actually literally open a box, go to your inventory, and then search whatever that item is. It'll pop it up. You pop the in the custom label thing. You put however you're designated. Like I have box A11, so A11. I just put that number in, and then I go to the next item in the box. It doesn't take long. You think it would, but it doesn't.
No.
If you spend half an hour a day, you could probably get your entire inventory. If you have 1,000 items, you could probably get it done in less than a week.
Yeah.
Sherry said that she got a antique booth. I will tell you, Sherry, that antique booths can be very good if you're in a good location with a lot of traffic, but you will be down there a lot more than you think you will. Most people think you put an antique booth and you forget about it. I had one, and my wife was actually in charge of that, and she was down there about every 3rd day cleaning and rearranging, checking price tags.
You have to be constantly adding too.
Yeah, well, that was easy. Adding inventory was never a problem. It's arranging things, because you're usually we had a 10 by 10, but people get in there, they move stuff around, they take tags off, tags fall off, and you have to keep your booth looking fresh. You gotta get that in there. You gotta dust. You gotta clean. You gotta. I'm gonna try to feature these items, like stuff like that. And I had a standing order with the booth people that anybody that ever asked for a cheaper price, they could go as much as 20% off in my booth, without even calling me. If they wanted more than that, then they had to call me. So you gotta. They're hard work, but they could be really good, especially if you get a lot of big stuff. If you have a decent sized booth, you can put a lot of furniture in a decent sized booth, or stuff that you just don't want to ship. But a lot of antique malls really only want really vintagey antique stuff too. You can't really nobody wants to put a printer in there. I mean, you want to have good stuff in there, but it's got to be that older stuff. But like where you're at, Sherry, what I'd have in my booth, I'd have a ton of galvanized tubs, because you're in Amish country there, and they love that stuff. Primitives, galvanized, things like that, and people are going through where you're at. They're shopping for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, and those things are things you don't want to ship on eBay. So picking. Anyone know why sometimes when a buyer messages you and you have the option to send best offer on their message system, but sometimes I've never figured out why it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. It might be because they've selected a question about an item as opposed to just a general question. I'm not really sure how that works, because it's annoying sometimes, because I do want to send an offer or something. Someone asks me, hey, would you take an offer? Unless it's an item that doesn't have best offer on it. I really don't know. How much are you paying for it, Sherry, if you don't mind my asking, either by square foot or total? Because around here, it's about $1.50 a square foot. So a 10 by 10 is $150. Where I was at in West Virginia, it was $100. So it was $1 a square foot. If you can get it for a buck a square foot or less, that's when it's
Is that
really,
a month? Is that a month?
no, that's a month. And then it depends on how the place I was at, $70 a month, no commission. That's a 5 by 10, so that's 50 square feet. So you're paying about $58, about $1.20 a square foot. That's not terrible. But no commission is nice. I mean, that's where I was at. Where I was at, they actually even paid the tax on everything. But they had 40 booths in there, and what was nice was the auction hall that I did a lot of my buying at was actually connected to it, so we literally could buy everything and then roll it over to our booth. So I'd be buying, my wife would be pricing things that I wasn't going to put on eBay, and we would roll it right into the booth. So that's always a plus. And then I could always, if I had stuff in the booth that I want to get rid of, I could drag it out to the auction and throw it in there. Yep. Well, sounds like a good little location.
I would like to have an antique booth, but we don't have any around here. The nearest one is like 60 miles away.
Where's Blackberry Thistletea? Where at in Ohio are you trying to find one? Because there's a bunch of big ones around here. I can't remember where you're at. So, what's up, Jason?
What's up, dog?
Peace, brother.
Working on sneakers today, are you?
Go.
How did you know? No, I'm working on, I don't know, having a cup of coffee right now before I hit the showers. Figured I'd pop in and say hello.
Did you see the final price of the Altair last night?
$3,075.
Yeah. That's a bit pricey.
No.
I still think it's a good deal.
I'm sure the person that bought it. I'm sure the person that bought it probably wanted it.
Yeah,
Well,
I would be curious where they would have topped at it, because just the top computer is worth $3,000, and then the disk drive and the other piece was worth, who knows? I mean, the disk drive's $1,500 maybe, and then the other piece maybe another $1,500.
No, I don't think the disk drive's worth much at all, to be honest with you.
I think actually I don't know. In an original
I've got
Altair,
two of those floppy.
Yeah, but that was the 8-inch drive. That wasn't the 5 1/4, and it was in the full size Altair case.
Yeah, but the 5.5s are better than the 8.
Both of that, but somebody who's collecting is going to want the original stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look that great. It didn't look like the guy put it together too well either.
Fairfield.
I don't know.
That's not near Cincinnati, isn't it?
One thing I hate about online auctions is that I bid on a bunch of stuff on this online auction down in Barnum, which is probably about 40 miles away from Duluth.
You got outbid on everything but one for $1.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't win I didn't win anything except for one lot for $1. And it was the one, because it was a whole bunch of like contractor stuff and stuff like that. So multiple quantity lots of new stuff, you know, parts and stuff like that that people are going to use. Well, this one was like 12 shower heads, nickel plated shower heads or whatever. And so I bid on them because they were only $1 and I only bid $1. I thought, well, that'll be a nice addition to all my lots. Well, that's the only one I won. Son of a bitch.
Yep. I had the same thing. I was bidding on an auction last night and I won, you know, a few things that I wanted, but what I didn't realize is I had bid on a brand new auction company rights for the same one of the ones I usually did, and I got up and I forgot that auction was going. Didn't even look at it, and I won one item for $1. And the problem is, it's in the complete opposite direction, and it's like 45 minutes away. But if I go pick up the other auction, it's like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I want a camera for $1, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna call them, give them my number over the phone, and tell them to throw it away.
Yeah.
It's not worth me driving out there and spending an hour and a half on the road extra for a camera. Granted, I've spent $1, I'll make $50 on it. It's not worth my time.
Yeah. I totally forgot about this auction too. Otherwise, I would have bid up on some of the other stuff, but I totally forgot about it. I mean, they started coming in, and it was before Steam Show that I started bidding on it. And then during Steam Show, I totally forgot about it, you know. And then last night when I was at dinner, I got an email with an invoice. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yep. I have been there. I mean, that's the when you bid in as many online auctions as I do, that's the negative part side of it. You know, just
like,
it is what it is.
I haven't had that problem yet. But
Well, it's because well, I mean, you don't bid in a lot of. I mean, you really haven't done a whole lot of online auctions. I mean, you've done
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you do, you're trying to buy in quantity, and you like to bid at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually I wait till the end too, but for some reason I bid up on a bunch of stuff on that auction site. I must have been bored or something, and I was really,
Well,
I was gonna get some good stuff. Well, then I ended up with 12 shower heads, like son of a bitch.
Well, what happens with me is most of my auction sites don't have a watch function, and so to save time, what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll put a $1 bid on, you know, whatever I want to watch, and that way when I go back to bid that night, I just hit review bids, and I'm only looking at the items I'm bidding on.
Yeah, I do that too.
But that's how you get burned, and sometimes you drive somewhere to pick up something for $1. But normally, if it was here in town or if it was close, I wouldn't care. But you know, it's a different spot, and it's 45 minutes away from here. So,
well, this time it's not so bad because the auction place is on the way to the Steam Show that I'm going to this weekend. So I'm hoping I'll be able to pick it up on the way.
yeah, if you just call them, and well, it depends on where it's at. I mean, my problem is a lot of my online ones are estate auctions, and you got to be cleaned out that day.
Yeah.
Hey, Sally.
No, these guys are real nice. I've dealt with them before. And
I saw you tape yourself to yourself. That was kind of amusing.
Yep, she was having a tape issue. She needs a tape from Jason.
I was actually, I actually sold my lottery ticket lot to somebody else besides my normal person.
Oh,
this morning. It's just awesome. Hey, that's $40.
it's a shame you can't get more of them.
Huh?
That's
It's a
Sally.
shame you can't get more.
Our little Sally,
yeah.
helping people commit IRS fraud for the last 5 years.
One lottery ticket at a time.
Yeah. She don't know what they're doing with them.
That's right. They're collectors.
That's not my business. Marco said naked arm.
Just as long as in your listing you don't have taxes or IRS or something in there.
Right.
You still listing books
Well,
today?
it's a true story of trash to treasure.
Right.
Jason?
Did you say, Eric?
You listening? Are you still working on book listings, or
I like stopped when you saw me stop, and I haven't picked it back up yet. It's that exciting and motivating.
let me guess, you're shopping for storage units again, aren't you?
Yeah, look how exciting these books are. The new Encyclopedia of Fishing.
Oh boy.
That's what you get for buying books in a lot. Are you looking for storage units again? You got that hunter look in your eyes.
I still have a truck camper full of books, stacks and stacks and stacks of books. I got this whole lot of books at the auction. It was only, I probably only had about $5 in all these books. And I ended up making probably a couple thousand on the books, but the ones that were duds, they're still sitting in that damn camper.
What
I
you
had
need
some
is a gas can and a match.
Well, I told my husband, I said we should just shred them up and put them in the wood boiler for fire starter, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I had records. I paid $1 for this lot of records, and it was a huge lot. It was a guy who was a professor at Ohio State, a music professor, and so I literally I sold a couple of big like 10 book collections out of them, and I made like $300. But I had so many left over. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to donate them. And I donated the rest because I'd made my money on them, and they were literally, I was tripping over them. There was like 10 boxes of records left. There was still good money there, but I hate records, and I was just done with them at that point.
Yeah. I had a bunch of records also, same kind of story. I've got a couple bucks into them, and I was just so sick of, I mean, it was so heavy, these boxes. I was so tired of moving them around because I don't know anything about records. And so I ended up just taking them to the Goodwill. I was like, I just ain't even dealing with them.
Yeah, it's trash day tomorrow, so I got to load up my trash for the pickers.
Oh.
Get all the stuff I don't want to deal with, or that's cleaned out.
I got a busy morning already. I brought my husband to work. I went to the grocery store. I went to the bagel shop twice. Went to the gas station, and now I'm at the laundromat. My drawer broke last night.
Did you have to reload the bagels? I mean,
Now I went to the bagels to get a bagel, which I'm eating now. My husband calls me when I'm at the gas station. He's like, hey, could you go by the bagel shop and get me a bagel? I'm like, son of a bitch, I just left there. I had to do that, and I had to run back to his work. I'm going to have to run him lunch later. My daughter has a flat tire and no spare. So she's using my car today. Yesterday and today.
you couldn't have jacked the tire up, gone and got a spare yesterday?
Huh?
You couldn't have gotten the tire yesterday, so you'd have your car back today?
No, we were busy up at the steam farm getting stuff done up there. Trying to put stuff away because we couldn't put anything away the other day because it was so soupy up there from the rain. So we had to be up there yesterday getting stuff put away. We don't want parts on the steam engine getting rusted or anything like that, you know.
So
Don't leave our stuff on the rain.
So is everything coming back to the barn now?
Yeah, eventually. After Labor Day, we'll bring all of our tractors back. The steam engine stays up there, and we have a people wagon that we made out of an old manure spreader. That stays up there. And then otherwise the rest of the tractors will be coming back. And then the other tractor, it's a regular that my husband has. That one hasn't ran in a couple of years, so he's going to bring that home this winter and fix it. Well, we have like a stationary engine,
Yeah.
diesel engine that stays up there, and a Whitty generator that stays up there.
Do you guys have like a building up there or something?
Yeah. And then after Labor Day, we'll go back up there and get all the brass and everything off the steam engine and stuff, because we don't need that up there. It's all locked up, but you never know.
Seems like a lot of work.
It is.
Just to let off a little steam.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's a
you
lot
make.
of fun, though. You know, the main thing is when you see these little kids, their faces just light up with excitement when they get to go up on the steam engine and blow the whistle. Or that old guy when we let like if big groups come, like nursing homes or group homes and stuff like that, we let them in for free if they bring a busload of people. And when you see those old guys come and they watch you start up that old machinery, and they just light up and glow, and then they'll tell you stories about when they used to use that stuff, you know. And it's just so exciting, and it's so exciting to see the newer generations get involved and enjoy that stuff, you know. It's just really, really exciting to watch that.
I'll take your word for it.
I like the stories. It's fun to listen to the stories.
I guess I don't collect anything anymore, so nothing like that really excites me.
I mean, my dad's been doing this since he was a teenager. He used to, as a matter of fact, the steam engine that he has, he used to work on that when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And then it ended up not running, and it got put in the woods, and he ended up having to pull it out of the mud the day I was born. Actually, he pulled it out of the mud.
That's the thing that confuses me. We put it in the woods. I just can't get my head around that. You know, too many people that put things.
The guy that owned it had put it in the woods, and
I'm not saying that you guys did. I'm just saying that the fact that anybody.
Yeah.
But you see it all the time. You see it with cars and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
You see an auction where they're selling off the guy's car collection, and 3/4 of it is buried up. You know, trees are growing around it because he put it in the woods to put it away. Yeah. Like, that's not a good place to put stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a busy day for my dad when he got his steam engine, because it was the day I was born, and his grandma was having cataract surgery also, so he had to man everything, you know. He was running between the hospital and the steam engine and his grandma, and pretty busy day. Makes for a good story, though.
Yeah. Oh, Todd's still talking about that hair thing he sold for $45.
What hair thing?
Some sort of curler.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a curling iron.
But ask him, is he still sitting on his $20 gold bill?
If you ever find something called a split ender, they're kind of an older thing, but if you ever find anything called a split ender, they're worth like $75.
Is that a porn movie?
And you'll sell them within a day or two. They're that hot.
Don't forget those crimping things.
Yeah, crimpers go for a lot too.
Yeah.
Preppers love the crimping tools because they can use bags with them.
Also, any kind of older hair dryer.
Yeah,
there's some ladies like the older style ones, and they'll pay up for them.
Yeah.
They get that big, huge one that comes over top, and the dome that's on their heads.
I actually have one of those.
You
Yeah,
have
they have them. They have ones that are. They come in a case.
Have you ever seen the big electrode ones where it comes down and they have the electrodes that clamp on the hair after they foil wrap them, and that's how they curl?
No, that's freaking scary.
Oh, it looks like a giant octopus that comes down, and you have all these beads attached to your hair.
I would be afraid to use something like that. Like
I've seen a
I
couple
would
of
get
those
electrocuted.
I'm like, who in the world would ever hook themselves up to that thing? But
It's freaking scary.
they're hilarious. I mean, Google search them, you'll see. I mean, they're crazy looking. So they're like 1950s.
Ooh.
But yeah, they're not what I would call a happy experience, I imagine.
So now that my dryer broke, Gary's gonna have to do some major construction on our house because we have a nice front load washer and dryer out in the garage, and we're gonna put it in my bathroom, but he has to make my bathroom bigger, and we're gonna take out some windows in our back hall and make French doors there and stuff.
So you have to remodel your house because you have to get a new dryer?
Yeah, because now my dryer broke, so yeah. So now he's gonna have to do. Now he's got, because we don't want to haul the dryer downstairs and then have to haul it back up again.
Well, why not? It's where it's at.
I don't know. Because it's gonna be the washer and dryer are gonna be upstairs.
But aren't they already upstairs?
No, they're down in the basement.
Oh,
My old washer and dryer are down in the basement.
okay.
And if I brought my washer and dryer in now, the other one, the nice ones, I'd have to take them down the basement, and then when we got done remodeling, we had to bring them back up again.
So you'd rather go to the laundromat for the next month while you're remodeling?
He might as well just get the remodeling done now, and then we can do the washer and dryer right away. Shut up. It's an excuse to get my washer and dryer upstairs right away, so I don't have to wait. I talked him into it.
Well, as long as he's willing to do it, I guess. I don't know. I've never had a washer and dryer in an upstairs. Yeah, I lived in a one story, and that was always nice, but
I don't like going down to the creepy basement. I live in a farmhouse. I have a creepy basement.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
so I have a lower level, so it's not quite the same thing as creepy basement.
Yeah.
You're in it.
I guess that can make it creepy. I think I missed the window. I'm listening to my wakeboards.
Ever since I updated it.
That one in the bedroom. I tried to check something. Oh, I want to check the sheriff auctions or the county auctions with it. It was acting real dumb.
Yeah, this one's really dumb too. Ever since I updated it.
You guys are having computer issues.
Yeah, I know. I updated my laptop yesterday, and it's just been acting.
Yeah, I got a bunch of uploads I got to set up to Pornhub, and it's not working.
Oh God!
Oh.
Guys, it's here. It is tidy whitey.
That's the other Jim and Tara channel that we don't talk about.
No, we do have a second channel, but it isn't like that.
Uh-huh.
It's like stuff. It's called Sucker Creek Camp. It will be like Jim test driving snowmobile.
So you're not helping your case there, Tara. Sucker Creek Camp. Yeah, we know what it's all about.
That's the name of his deer camp, ironically.
Well, because it's on.
It's on.
Wait a minute now. The deer camp where the Florida is all shared at is called Sucker Creek. Oh, Tara.
That's true.
Well, because it's on Sucker Creek. It's on Sucker Creek Camp.
I would never.
His brother made.
If someone says, "Hey, let's go to my deer camp," we call it Sucker Creek, but you got to make sure you bring some really bad porn. Yeah. Oh, it's a bunch of dudes too. There's no chicks allowed.
No girls allowed at deer camp.
Yeah. When you roll onto that property, you can hear the banjos playing in the distance.
I can imagine, though. I mean, it's like, is this something that was born out of a prison movie or something?
Possibly.
It cracks me up that the name that Sucker Creek. It's hilarious to me because you had a real estate agent bought around the lake that feeds into Sucker Creek. Now you can imagine what the name of the lake was, Sucker Lake. Well, she petitioned to change it to Lake of the Hills. So it just cracks me up that they won't own it. You know, they left the creek Sucker Creek, but they had to change the lake to Lake of the Hills because she couldn't subdivide it and sell the lots off on a lake called Sucker Lake. You know, it just correct. So I wanted to keep the name Sucker Creek alive.
Well,
Go Suckers!
thank God for you, Jim.
Yeah,
God.
somebody's got to do it. It's if you go on the map, it's at the intersection of it's where Sucker Creek goes into the Wisconsin River. We own actually both sides of the creek and both sides of the river. It's a 20-acre piece that the creek is the north border and the Wisconsin River is the west border. And it's a little piece. There's probably 6 acres high, and the rest of it's all tag alder swamp. But we just use it for hunting anyway. It's It's a piece of an old. It went back to the county in like the Depression, and then the county sold it off like in the 60s or something like that, and we bought it from the guy who bought it from the county. So it's been not much inhabitation.
It sounds like you're the sucker.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Now here's the key, Jim. You guys are planning to move out of Kentucky. Are you going to keep the Sucker Creek camp property?
Oh, well, my brother, I have a brother that's 13 years younger than me.
He wants to buy Jim out of it.
He wants to buy me out of it, which is fine because I won't be up here anymore. But he made me at the time because I do not like to go partners with anybody. He just begged me, and we went half on it. So it's half my brother. So when I leave, he's going to buy me out of the other half.
Yeah, but is it going to be a market rate buyout, or is it going to be what you paid for it?
They negotiated
No,
the terms.
and it didn't really, honestly, because it's the access to it. You got to go through county and state for logging 40s to get to it. It really hasn't accelerated like the rest of the land. And we bought it probably at around 96. No, we bought it in 2000. So we were well into the land, you know, when the bubble was at its height. So I'd say it really didn't collapse in value, but it really didn't gain any value. So yeah, I'm buying it out for about what we bought it for.
Okay.
And we've traded things back and forth. Like he gave me a 4-wheeler at some point. I gave him something else at some point. Snowmobile. So I mean, we go back and forth on, you know. So we just dollar wise, we just kind of. Honestly, if I walked away, I got my money's worth out of it. We paid like $25,000 for it on a land contract. It paid off. It's no big. We'll be able to settle finances pretty easy.
Do you guys have like a cabin on it?
Yeah.
I used to go in this when I sold real estate. We had this coffee clutch in the morning. You'd meet up with these guys for coffee, and they were all different trades and stuff like that. And one of the guys said, you know, the junkyard won't take my camper. And I'm like, well, I just bought this piece of land that's got nothing on it. He goes, yeah, well, if you want it, go pick it up. It's yours. So I picked it up. It's probably, I don't know, about a 24-foot pull behind camper that we put a roof on, replaced the windows, built bunks in it. We stripped out the whole interior, which now looking back was probably not smart because it would be one of those campers now they get like $3,000 for them because they're so antique looking. But we went in and gutted it.
Yeah.
Wait, did it come with 3 boats?
No boats with this one. Although I have had boats out there.
How's the fleet going?
Do you have
I'm selling. I already listed some parts. We already started parting out that one, and Jim's gonna. Well, we got to do some other stuff today.
Oh, I'm hiding from the camera. It's not even on.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna try getting that engine running on that one, and then take a video of it, and then we're gonna list that on eBay. That 85 horse, or is that an 80?
Well, the key is
85.
Do you have room for like filing cabinets to store the entire collection in the camp? Or
No, you don't leave you leave something like that out there.
It
It's
won't
good.
be there.
I don't lock the door.
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was at when I was bartending, I'm at the bar talking to a friend of mine about it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know where that is." I'm like, "Well, I don't think so." "Oh yeah, you know, I've been there. I know exactly where that is." I'm like, "I don't think so. I think you're mixed up there, buddy."
One time in a bar parking lot.
Yeah. Well, then the guy goes, "Yeah, I know that place. That's the place that's got the deer mount with the eye patch on it." I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh yeah, that camper's cool. Yeah, we go out there and check it out all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, I own it." "Oh, I'm sorry." So So people are in and out of it all the time. But what are you going to do? I mean,
If you lock it, they'll break.
yeah, they're just going to break. It's got jealousy windows. How the hell do you replace those? You know, if they break in through the window, or if they break the, it's got a camper door lock. I mean, those are like on eBay. Those antique camper door locks are like $100. You know, so I just leave it unlocked. Let them walk in and walk out.
Well, that's a polite thing to do as long as they don't trash it.
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way. If I lock it, they're going to trash it. If I leave it unlocked, they might trash
story.
it. Oh, my God. Yeah. I leave camp, and I see my brother's T-shirt on one of his bags. I'm like, well, he's going to grab that one or whatever. And we pack up when we leave in November. Well, it's probably like the following September. I haven't been up there. And I'm like, yeah, we should go up there and check the place out. I see his suitcase up on top of one of the bunks. I'm like, we should have grabbed that. I'm like, yeah, here's a shirt laying there. I remember this. And I look at it, it's this Nike, I'm going to hit your balls out of the park shirt. I'm like, wait a minute. This is my shirt. This is my bag. I lift it up. I'm like, man, this thing's heavy. I got a 9mm loaded pistol in the bag on top of the bunk, and nobody ever touched it. And there was stuff moved around, so I know there was people in there, but they must just not have found it.
Actually, he had been looking for that pistol. He has a few 9mm. But he's looking. He's like, I don't know where I put that other 9mm. Can't find it. Oh, I know it's in the house somewhere. Yeah, he left it up there in hunting camp all year.
Yeah, I always have at least one missing pistol. But okay,
yeah, I usually store them in my son's bedroom or something like that. I can never find them.
I'll find it in a sock drawer or something like that. But anyway, here's a good one. We're at this auction. I need an outhouse for the land. I'm going to build one or whatever. And I see these porta potties going up at this camp. The Catholic Church got sued for, well, you know what, and they got to pay this family off. So they're selling off this camp. So at this camp, there's these porta potties. So I buy this one. It went for like $40. It's a fiberglass. It's old timey. It's like from the 60s or whatever. It's a little bit ugly, but it's for deer camp. I'm going to saw the bottom out of it and use it for an outhouse. Mm-hmm. This guy walks up to me and goes, that's not one of the full ones, is it? I'm like, yeah, it's a good one. He goes, no, seriously, a lot of these haven't been pumped. I bought a full flipping porta potty.
It wasn't liquid.
It wasn't liquid. It was a big poop brownie in the bottom of it, but it weighed like 800 pounds. I had to winch it up onto the trailer, and then I filled it with water and bought like that Ridex stuff you put in your septic tank to digester to finally get it soft enough where I could get it pumped out. I mean, it was nasty.
Thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah, I really needed that this morning. That's
one time in this bar parking lot. Me and my brother, we used to share everything.
I bought like a 600 to 800 pound block of human feces.
All right, Jim, you win.
Anyway, well, I did saw the bottom out of it. Now that's our outhouse at camp. It works awesome.
Anyway, how we got on this? Yes, we have a second YouTube thing. It's called Sucker Creek Camp, and then all it is just boring test drives of us test driving stuff that we sold on eBay.
It's even more boring than those stories I just told.
Yeah.
Tim Timpy, Arizona, or Gerhard, I'm sorry. Tim Timpy asked, anyone ever sell food on eBay, sausage, jams, and stuff? That's quite a bit of that.
I don't know that. Yeah, like salad dressings and stuff.
Salad dressings and hot stuff.
If you're talking about homemade stuff.
No. But
when he says sauces and jams, I don't know. My mind for some reason goes to like. Maybe. I wouldn't do. That's just me. I wouldn't do it if it was. I mean, like bottled stuff or whatever. Yeah.
We buy food we buy at auctions usually, and I don't trust auction food. Just saying. Oh my God, this auction house we go to, they sell frozen meat. How do you trust that? I mean, how do you know that meat never thawed and got, not right?
I bought that soda, and that soda was bad, and I didn't know soda could go bad.
Yeah, we bought soda. We were drinking it at the auction. We're like, kind of like, oh.
I don't know. It tastes kind of flat, and then I look at it in the light, and it's got like these little cloudy things floating in it. I'm like, ah.
It looked like sea monkeys in there.
I wouldn't buy. I mean, I don't buy. This is just me. I'm not weird, germaphobe, whatever. But
I want that small stuff.
I don't buy like canned goods from people I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you go to the yard sales and they're like, oh, look, canned tomatoes. And it's like, yeah, and I'm going to die because you didn't know how to.
Yeah, you're going to get botulism from them. Oh, well, our food guy, it's like these, they buy it at the grocery store, I think, when it's like already expired.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, the train was in an accident, so some of the cans are kind of messed up looking or whatever, and I just don't completely trust them.
I mean,
Is there any value in old newspaper machines?
Oh wow, we saw that Waterford crystal bowl just now.
no.
The storage unit full of them from the Columbus Post, which isn't around anymore. Hasn't been around in years.
It looks like Tim is talking about a new grocery chain called American Foods, bulk buying like jams for 40 cents a bottle. The only problem with that, they're probably going to be outdated or off-brand, is my guess, for 40 cents a bottle. Just be careful. I mean, number one, if they're outdated, you can't sell them on there. Number two, if they're off-brand, you're going to have a really hard time selling them on eBay. It's going to be a little bit harder sell.
I don't mess with it because I store myself. My inventory is in this attached 2-car garage. It's not heated or air conditioned, and I don't want to worry about it freezing or whatever, getting too warm.
And if they're glass jars, you got to think about shipping. Plus, they're going to be heavy. And honestly, hadn't Tim only been doing this about 3 months?
Yeah.
I would maybe buy like 3 bottles if you're going to do a lot of 3 bottles and throw a listing up for 1 and see what happens, knowing that worst case you're going to keep it and you're going to eat jam for the next 6 months. But being as newer as you are to it, not really knowing shipping costs yet, you're talking about a bottled product that's going to be quite a bit heavier. So unless you're really, really, really comfortable with shipping, I probably wouldn't touch it. That's just me. There you go. And then it gets deathly quiet. Thanks.
You're right.
I have a tip of the day for when Tara said freezing. You made me think of something. Snow globes.
Oh yeah.
Don't store snow globes below freezing.
I was waiting for the rest of the story after back in the day, my brother and I shared everything. I figured that was going straight into the bar.
No, you did not share everything. That would be gross.
But yeah, my sister-in-law is smoking hot.
You call her the Hun.
That's my mom and dad. Oh, no.
I thought you did.
Are you trying to cause a family problem now? What if somebody watches this?
Oopsie dipsy. Only because she's German.
We only talk about people behind their backs because that's polite.
Yeah.
If you talk about them in front of them, well, that's just being rude.
Is that all you're doing is going there? And
Do you have a tape gun?
I really saggy
Okay.
I get to drive to whoop, whoop,
I was doing my auction under
Nowhereville, Tennessee today.
Cool.
What was your total last night, Dustin?
Like only $147 or something.
It's not bad. Are you? Is it just you and Tris going up, or is Jim making his own trip?
No, Jim's gotta go pick up his stuff. Tristan and I are doing that.
Eric, I'm warning you. If I open this link and it's these fucking heads,
It's not.
All right.
Open what?
He's mad because I keep sending him the mask storage unit link.
Keeps going, buy it,
Is he
buy it.
scared of it?
No,
Excuse me.
I'm scared of the mattresses. What I'm scared of.
He's got 2 mattresses in it. That's all he's worried about. It, and it's almost an empty unit aside from the mattresses and the mask. There's not a whole lot in there. So
I don't know what it's like where you live, but here, if you do an ad on Craigslist and put free mattresses, somebody come get them in a heartbeat. I mean, you actually could sell them, but if you didn't, you just want to mess with them.
well, he can put them out in his trash. They'll take them with his trash. You just got it's a set of mattresses. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's one
It's
set.
actually the touching of the mattresses.
That's what rubber gloves are for.
Yeah. No, it's just a pain in the ass to move them, and then all of a sudden there's not much in there. I got to rent a truck because there's a friggin' mattress.
Those were twin mattresses, weren't they?
Well, the worst they are is queen. That would be the absolute worst because
They look like
Either way, it's
twins.
not
they look like fools to me. Actually. They're double. Yeah, those masks are pretty good size.
What are those big things that are sideways? It's like, oh, Columbus.
Yeah, those are more machines.
I don't think they sell newspapers anymore.
They sell the machines on eBay for about $175. They don't sell very fast, but they do sell.
I just don't know if. I just don't know. I don't know.
Next, I like that movie.
I'm still really hesitant on the mask thing, and I know that Eric's had sold one or whatever. I just see so much of that reproduction crap. It just seems odd to me that somebody would have, and this is just me, that somebody would have 10 African real masks from Africa that are antique, and they happen to be laid out on a mattress in a storage.
I will say this about like that kind of stuff. Jim bought, it was some kind of like ceremonial shield, not from Africa, from South America. I can't remember what the hell it was called. And I'm like, Jim, why'd you buy that? That's one of those like cheap reproductions that had a modern picture hanger on the back. I'm like, that ain't old. That could be worth shit. So I put it on eBay. I put it at auction because I can't find any comparables or whatever. And the son of a bitch ended up selling for $500.
They do this. There's this tribe in South America that for women, they have to make like a ceremonial war club, and then they do a ceremonial like dance and fight. And then they also have to show the woman that they can make baskets for her so she can pick nuts and berries and stuff. So they have to actually weave some baskets. And I also got some baskets, which you got good money for from the same state. They traveled to this country. But I'm just like, oh my God, what kind of culture? The dude's got to weave a basket for the chick. It's weird.
But anyway, the thing of it is, I mean, there's no way this shield was very old. I mean, it did.
No, it wasn't a shield. It was a war club.
Oh, was it the war club?
Yeah, it was
was it with a shield?
No, it was with the
I
baskets.
don't know. Eric knows more about that stuff than I do. It's one of those things though that whenever because I see it all the time and and everything else. I mean,
there's just
okay, and this is not at all. No,
go ahead.
I find a lot of that African kind of stuff, the places that I shop and the units that I get and all that. So it just is more predominant. My thing is it's a piece of carved wood. It's kind of like glassware. I don't buy glassware because I'm not familiar enough with it to know if it was old glassware or new glass. And that's just something I've never bothered to learn over the years, nor had a desire to. To me, a carved piece of wood could come from Pier 1 just as easily as it could come from.
It can, but you kind of have to judge the wood on how chalky it is, because all the reproductions almost have like a little bit of a gloss.
It's like the wooden dough bowls. You see the wooden dough. We have one in our kitchen that I know for a fact is probably most 99.9% positive, not an antique, but it's really cool. People take a big old hunks of wood and they have them carved to make dough bowls, and they've actually gotten really good, I think, at learning how to age them and everything else. Kind of frighteningly so. It just scares me. Not scares me, but if that's all the potential is in the whole unit, yeah.
Check out the one I just posted for you, Dusty.
The one that's at $10.
Yeah.
Are those
Yeah.
pants?
I don't know what they are, but it's in somebody's entire inventory, brand new.
I mean, do you think it's clothing or do you think it's like tarps? It's hard to.
I can't tell. I was thinking it might have been like napkins or towels or something. There's a company called The Walking Company is one of their boxes, and I do have a number on it. I don't know what The Walking Company is.
It actually says somebody's name on that.
The Walking Company is a shoe company.
Yeah, I think that's where my grandma buys her shoes. Sounds like it.
Might be the box they were using.
Well, at least we get
$20.99, all styles.
like that. That's only 30%.
I would.
You have a tape measure?
Wow, what horribly crappy pictures.
When I find an extra tape measure, I put it inside that.
5 for 20. I don't know what it is. I was trying to figure out what it was.
So they were selling something all styles for $29.99.
I think
That's their inventory for setting up a craft show, flea market, something like that.
Oh wait,
Oh,
those might be
five for $29.99 all styles. $20.
those might be curtains. I see tassels. Those might be curtains.
It's curtains, table runners. I don't know. They're big though.
Either way, buddy, that's gonna go for like a buttload, right?
Yeah, there's one that's Ghostbusters even. Yeah, it's probably that thing will probably go for $3,000 by me. I'm gonna watch it and see what happens with it.
Mm.
Is that one near you, or where is that? I didn't.
Yeah, that was there. It's actually really cool. On the north side. It's actually in a very affluent area. So.
This is the one that I like right now, but I'm just afraid of moving it all by myself.
Scared.
But I really like this one.
This is the one I'm not that enamored with.
It's got
Yeah.
Cool though. It's
We did the Waterford.
I don't know on that one.
Hey Tara,
Yeah.
Star Wars toys look okay? Like
Oh,
decent
here, let me
value?
look at it. I was taping something.
There's Star Wars toy gun. 2 Star Wars toy guns. Those are older ones, at least. Not like here, I think.
One right here.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, for value.
I'm looking through the pictures.
I see tools, I see toys. I think there might be some good stuff in it.
Is that the one with all the boxes in the doorway? Oh, those are. Oh, yeah, I see them down here.
One of those walking company boxes
Like
says
1997 ones, though.
Yeah,
aren't
no
they?
good, no good.
Yeah, those are those something the Force, what do they call it? They like came out like in 97 or 96.
Yeah, they got to be like 80. They got to be like 82 or earlier. 82, 83 or earlier. Otherwise, we wind up.
I mean, they sell.
we wind up giving them to a kid.
What I find interesting is when the guy packed up, he even pulled the mailbox and put it in the locker.
Like,
You see the whole hole and everything?
yeah.
One of the walking companies says what, Sally?
it says charge machine.
Says what?
Yeah, there's a charge machine in the walking company box says the charge machine. So that's why I don't know.
Hey, do you have a Lionel plastic
Craft show or flea
screen
market.
set?
I mean, that's
I guess
what it is they're selling. That's
yeah, it's got the plastic tracks, but some of them still, I think, do okay. I mean, I haven't looked at one for a while.
Well, they're expensive too.
Yeah.
I mean, if they are napkins or like cloth napkins, which would be a really odd business to try to sell nothing but cloth napkins at a flea market, but who knows? Maybe why they didn't make it.
Yeah.
They definitely look more like
but
table runners, maybe even tablecloths.
but if they're unbranded, I mean,
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. You just can't. There's
then
not
you're stuck trying to sell a generic. Nobody really wants it. Hey, but they're really pretty.
Right.
There's a lot.
I like the mailbox one.
All the way back. So.
And that top box says something. That top box is in the back. It says something, but I can't figure out what it says.
Not a clue. At least I got a hand truck in the cart.
There you go.
There's actually there's 2 Tandy hard drives in there.
That's the only reason you like that unit.
I know. They go for 300 apiece, man.
Okay, well there's some value you can see. If there's $600 if they're in there, and there probably are.
In there.
Well,
Okay.
it looks like he might have some Thomas the Train crap because there's another clear Tupperware tote that looks like it has one of those stupid Thomas Train faces looking at me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes those. My son, when he was like 3, was into Thomas the Train. And I remember when I was selling his stuff, actually, it did all right.
Tara's nightmare. Thomas the Train faces staring at her.
Yeah, no Thomas. And that's an older Craftsman tool chest, which I think actually those do okay too. That's underneath that Tandy box.
That's pretty beat.
Yeah, they're not that great.
But the potential for tools, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toolboxes stacked right there. And I know there's at least 3 or 4 package sets back there.
Just
What?
buy. Just buy it and ask questions later.
He's good at that.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
like you
Serious.
haven't already bought mattresses in the past. You have bought a set of mattresses before.
Just put them in the
but they were,
backyard
like,
and burn them.
Burn 'em. I'm thinking like a residential street on a court.
You know, you have
I
all
should be allowed.
just put them on your top of your truck and forget to strap them down.
Somebody did that here in Wisconsin. They did that where they call it mattress surfing, where they put a mattress on top of the car. The guy's laying on it, and they went on the freeway to do mattress surfing without it strapped down. He died.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't suggesting that he should ride the top. I would say that he would
Is that like a Darwin Award?
fly off. So
Yeah. You're real smart if you do that. Oh boy.
Never know what's in those Tandy boxes, though.
Hard drives.
Hello, Candy Cane.
You don't know that, Jason. It's
Oh,
just a
they're in
guess.
And what?
Yes, but yeah, the odds are they're in there because nobody. It's not like anybody's running a Tandy system that they're doing their internet surfing on it right now.
Are you looking at the
or
second
the
unit?
fact that, or the fact
Look
that
at
it's small, so it's not like a good packing box. It's not like
Are you talking about the
Okay.
second unit?
the last
Yeah.
one I posted.
The one at the mailbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blackberry Thistle Seed is saying, Jason, do not listen to Eric. Final warning.
Hey, he did do good last time. The only problem is I had to do a lot of work to get, and I'm still not done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jason's going to do $4 or $5 grand out of that unit very easily.
I still have to take all that women's clothing and throw it out.
Well, you got to go through the stuff that you haven't gone through yet, too. So
I'm only saying that to annoy Sally. I'm not throwing anything out.
Burn it with the mattress.
I'm gonna come kill you in your sleep. Just so you know.
No, I'll
scared?
probably donate a lot of that clothing, though.
Be scared him for your life.
Jason found over $1,800 in gold in that unit. So good. He could throw away everything out of that unit but that one bag, and he'd be fine.
I know the only problem with me is the gold is going to go right next to the safe, and next to the change jar, and that stuff will just sit there for the next year.
And if the safe was open, you could actually put it in there. You'd have your own little collection. Your hedge against future issues. So.
I'm so bad like that. I have like 300 pounds of copper. I have probably about 20 pounds of carbide.
Yeah, but that's stuff that you just got to get it down to the scrapper. I mean, gold is a little different. You could take the gold to a We Buy Gold shop and get your money out of it. So
I can do that with copper too if I put it in the truck.
what's the copper worth? 40 cents a pound? I don't even know anymore. So
I forget actually.
I haven't looked at copper scrap prices forever.
Used to be about
I don't
50.
remember,
Used to be
to be
about
honest
50
with
for
you.
like cleaning or whatever, but everything's come down and bounced
I
around.
looked it up. I looked it up a while ago because I've had it for years. Yeah.
If it's like
It's machinist grade copper, so it's a good quality.
if it's brass bright copper,
Mhm.
it's like $2.50 a pound.
No, I'm sorry. I have 300 pounds of brass, and then I think it's 40 pounds of copper.
No, I was thinking of aluminum. Aluminum was 40-50 cents a pound.
Plumber's brass is worth 90 to $100 or 90 cents to $1 a pound. Regular copper is worth $2.50 a pound. Yeah, aluminum cans are only 25 cents a pound now.
Oh,
Copper's
wow.
where the money's at. That's why it's worth it for the feed to go in and strip a house.
Yeah, I have about 30 pounds or so of aluminum too, like blocks of it.
Wow, cars with a title are selling. Now this is a scrapyard price on a generic place for $5.50 a pound.
$5.50 a pound.
Yeah, so cars 4,000 pounds for a big car.
$200 ish.
I think they're $150 here, but our local scrapyard it pays a little less than most.
500. So
And could you tell you this? I pulled out this one dress when I was digging through the boxes, and it had a price tag on it still of like $200. It was like an outfit, like a business casual outfit, I think, if I remember right. So there's probably a good, and a lot of the clothing had tags still, so there's a good chance some of that's worth some stuff.
Come on, people, pay for stuff. What's your freaking problem?
yeah, so no, a 4,000 pound car is worth $220. That just sucks.
What is?
A 4,000 pound car.
Oh,
You know, most cars don't weigh 4,000. Most of them are around between about 3,000 for most of them. So
mm.
I found a storage auction in my area.
yeah, because that's exactly what you need. That much volume.
I
coming
know,
in.
and I don't even have any way to go get it.
Did they get rid of the button where, well, didn't there used to be a button when you closed an unpaid item case
You could relist.
that you could automatically block the person?
I don't think so. I don't remember ever being one.
Invalid user ID. Well, that's what the damn name says. Oh, no, it doesn't. My bad. That was their,
No,
that was
I'm
their
not getting a
name.
mannequin. No.
What, you're not gonna get a mannequin?
No.
Not even like a hanging one, so you could take a picture of the clothing. You're just gonna do hangers.
I'm just gonna do it at hangers. I don't have the patience to sit there and button something up and put it on a mannequin.
That's true.
Take action, receive fee credit. And they
Oh, there
pay
were also
you.
a bunch of purses. And
Yeah, the purses are kind of gonna be the same quality as the shoes. The purses aren't gonna be worth a whole lot.
yeah. Well, I think there was that one Coach, but I don't know if it's real or not.
But you gotta buy her for that one
Probably
already.
not. Stop calling me. Freaking restricted numbers. So annoying.
Every morning. Mine don't do that. They spoof a local number anymore.
I have to sign my new lease today.
Oh yeah.
Just got it.
That's different.
Oh shit, Hank. 'Hank. 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 '
Ooh. A 3-year lease with 1 additional year option. That'll do, Pete. That'll do. Alright. What the heck? It's so funny. I looked here and it says the completion date is 2020. I'm like, oh my God, how far away is that? It's only 3 years.
3 whole years. Not even.
No, it's just whenever you see the for me, anytime I see the date of 2020, it reminds me of that movie. And it just seems like 100 years into the future, but now it's like almost here.
Mhm. Queen City Picker says if any viewers are in the Charlotte area, Value Village is 50% off store wide today.
Yeah, my first store are 50% off. And I'm in a real hurry to get out to them. I got like 41 items to take photos of that I already got the grass built. I don't need to go get any more.
Yeah, I haven't been to the thrift store probably in like 5 or 6 days.
Hey, Valerie. She must be at the airport. Yeah.
So Valerie, you hear? You get to the Charlotte, get to your Charlotte airport. When your daughter picks you up, you go right to the Value Village because it's half off.
And buy some extra suitcases and
Are you reading the paper, Jason?
Hmm?
What are you reading?
The lease. I read everything before I sign it.
Oh, please. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, going through all the exact word. I mean, I'm just checking what he wrote.
Probably the same one you signed before. You just added in the.
Oh, yeah, that's what he told me, but I'm just double checking before I sign it.
Failure to pay by 1
I'm reading
minute.
about the insurance.
Failure to pay by one minute means you forfeit your entire unit or your entire storage, and I can lock the doors and take everything. So I'm curious, what did your mailman say when he walked in and saw all your shoes the other day?
You were there.
No,
before I even opened the door, he was laughing. Because it looked like a giant wall. Like he couldn't even see me. I had to hold my hands up to let him know I was inside to wait till I could get to the door.
Did you have any comments on the ladies' apparel then?
No, he was just laughing.
Because the Nike shoes are like, oh, that's cool. You got a bunch of Nikes. Everybody gets that. And then next thing you know, you're like, Jason, do you have a fetish I don't know about? I mean,
well, I don't think you can really see inside the boxes. You know, the because they're all in those little tote things.
yes, but the cocoa butter smell was there.
Ugh, it'll be there today too. I
just
gotta
can't
like put that stuff in like a sealed bin or something.
I can't wait till you start sending your tools out and everybody's going, did you lubricate this with shea butter? I mean, what's going on?
Oh man. Responsibilities. Here we go. This one's fun.
Oh, well, watch out for the cam. Maybe up your cam.
No. He said it was the same. But
Yeah,
still
birthday's on the Valerie's on the birthday's on the 1st. You're gonna have to come on here so we can sing happy birthday to you on Friday.
Oh.
We're gonna have to super chat her some money so she can buy drinks for all of us. That's as long as we get the video of her at the karaoke bar, you know.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. Whenever you're paying the cleaning deposit on one of those units, do they just charge you right at first whenever you're bidding?
Yeah.
No, when you win the bid, is it an online? It'll tell you the terms, but like some of the bigger sites, they charge you their buyer's premium, your credit card that you have on file, and then when you go to to pay the storage facility, you pay them, and then you also pay the cleaning deposit to them, and then when you're done cleaning, it's swept out, you go back to it's done, it's cleaned, it's swept out. They'll go out and look at it real quick, and then they'll give you your money back on that.
Oh, okay.
Mine here, because the owner is out of town, I got to pay the whole thing to storage treasures, and then I have to. They give me the contact information for the office. I got to pay with a credit card, and then I just get it back after I tell them it's clean.
Yeah, I mean it's all depends on what you can find.
But mine isn't like. I mean, there's no on-site management. I mean, when you go to these storage units, there's no like fencing or anything like that. They're just storage units in a line.
Happy birthday, Jamie.
Yes, the entire state of Wisconsin is your security buffer. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's no like security fencing, or I know like some places I think you have to like punch in a code through a gate or a fence to get back to your unit or something. It's just gravel driveways with garage doors.
Hi.
We're back again.
Yeah, it's funny. That last one I didn't have a security deposit. Call it clean out deposit.
Or cleaning one.
They just said if you don't clean it out, you're banned from all future auctions.
Excuse
You
me.
talking about still trying to figure out what to do with your mattress?
No.
You'd be surprised. Talk to the manager too. They may have a manager's special kind of unit they're throwing together. They may be like, "Oh yeah, shove it in here."
Yeah, I actually got away with that on another place. I got rid of that big bureau that way.
You talked me into taking a mattress.
No, a bureau.
Oh,
A piece of
okay.
furniture.
If you can talk somebody into taking an old mattress, you are good. Too shitty.
But Dusty said if you put an ad on Craigslist by him, free mattresses, that people pick them up.
Oh, good lord.
When we had we sold the crap out of used mattresses when we had our thrift store.
Yeah, ours goes straight to the place
Yeah,
where
but those mattresses on that unit with the masks look pretty heinous.
We sold some really nasty stuff. I used to drive around at night in my van and pick them up on trash night and pick them up off the side of the road, take them straight back to the store. It was an easy $75. Lay them out front, $75 the next morning. They'd be within an hour.
Oh, good lord.
Must be a southern thing.
We were in an area that had a lot of migratory workers,
Oh,
and they were constantly moving in, and typically they would share
share a bed.
share an apartment. Like there'd be a lot of them in one apartment, so they were always needing to cram a new mattress on the floor.
Yeah, I just visualized bringing this mattress home to my old lady. Hey, we're gonna make beautiful love on this $75 mattress that smells like rat pee.
Oh, but remember when you managed those Russians and
they were sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, they were sleeping on the floor in mattresses, and then when they went to clean the unit out, it smelled like old potatoes and onions, like old root crops.
Yeah,
like sat in a bag for too long.
Trying to get the stink out of those
units. It's weird, yeah.
Well, they sell those encapsulation bags anymore, so people don't mind. But I mean, I would never buy a used mattress, but not when I can get one off of Amazon for $100. I mean,
yeah.
The odor from those rental units, I mean, the units when they got that many people staying in one unit, though, it's like it gets into everything. The walls, the ceiling tiles, just everything just absorbs that odor. It's just too many monkeys in one cage.
There's a second Tandy box in there in addition to the one on the right above the toolboxes.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Okay, I missed that part. Sorry.
Yeah, the part number. Yeah, I looked that part number up. It's a hard drive.
There's something heavy in those toolboxes because the blue went about halfway down. Almost the plastic's pretty squished. So whatever's in the 4 on top of it, probably legitimately tools.
Plus, it looks like the stuff has been there a long time.
Plus, somebody said earlier that you got Thomas the Tank Lionel set.
Yeah, which is a plastic one. I don't think they're worth a ton, but it does have some value. Oh man, you couldn't find a more perfect box.
This one reeks 80s. It kind of reeks 80s to me, but then again, how long is Home Depot? That's a more modern Home Depot box in the front. And there's a date code on the Brookstone box of 2007. So it looks like a lot of vintage stuff, like the Thomas the Tank looks kind of 80s. The two boxes are looking 70s, 80s, but then you got some newer stuff in there.
You got records, ammo box.
No, he's been around since the 80s. Yeah, because I knew somebody's kid who was into it, and they were like born in the 80s, I think.
I like that one, but I don't think it'll go for 140. I think it'll go for about 500.
Where is it? Is it more tape? Well, not out of tape.
It does look pretty good, though. You go for it.
What should be in that bug thing?
You can't. I mean, here's the deal. You can't with the 10 by 20 with that many boxes. Even if you worst case resort have to sell $20-$25 item, you can find $20-$25. It's storage units. If you do them right, are kind of a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a washer and dryer, for instance, here I know I can throw those on Craigslist, get $200 for a set, probably a little more. But quick sale, $200. So then you see a refrigerator. Well, that's an easy $150, $200.
Began in the United States, in the U.S. in 1989.
But even like boxes like that with smalls, factor in
She was born in India.
by 20 unit. I mean, my God, you're gonna find. I mean, it'd have to be. It literally just had to be a storage unit for garbage to not find a bunch of $25,
Right.
$50 items. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a lot of quantity. I like it's all boxes. There doesn't look like any furniture other than that one
10 pounds.
shelf.
I put on the other scale first to test it. I don't even like to test it. I suspect it's because it says do not put anything over 10 pounds on it. So I put 14 pounds. I just added that one.
I mean, it is packed high though. I mean, there could be like a BMW back there. Who knows?
Or it could be stacked full of mattresses.
Totes full of women's shoes.
Yeah, I'm full of women's shoes right now.
For breakfast, Ben and Jerry's. Breakfast of champions. Oh.
I like the Austin Powers doll action figure. I mean, he's literally like this. It's got to be a good unit.
I just, being totally honest, where the hell you gonna put this one?
Yeah,
The
my
master
room
is small. I mean, there's not that much there.
But I mean, has he even kept up with the last three he's bought?
Of course not.
Well, I have everything organized except the last one, which I put in my storage unit instead of the shop.
Aside from the shoes.
So I have room. And you know, I can go through it fairly quickly. I'll get rid of all the riffraff pretty fast. You know me. I'll
Yeah, but
blow
that's
through
a-
it in one night.
By 20, that full is pretty. That's a lot to go through.
Well, I mean, yeah, this one, yeah. I mean, but I can stuff it in the back. I got the room. And then sort through it later.
Stuff it and stack it.
Because it's all boxes. It's not so bad.
Sure.
I do these double dings on when I go to print a label, and then it will say error printing, and then but it still prints. I don't know.
I can tell you right now, Dusty, there's this other one that I am like all in on.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Just take a look at it too. It's a juicy one. It's only a 5x4.
Oh, good. I haven't even eaten any of it.
It's so good, I don't even think about that.
You're eating the whole container. Oh.
Just our ice cream is so damn good.
What are you laughing at? The look on my face?
No.
No. The chat. Beth is busting Eric's chops.
Did I not say there was gold in that unit? No, I said there was going to be jewelry in that unit. We should play back the videos and say where I talked about this. You're going to find jewelry in that unit. So, booyah.
I don't know about that last one.
Oh, I do. Yeah, no, is that the one you're the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Go
that's a great unit, Dusty.
Hold on, I'm still looking up that company.
They're basically little jars of like.
Okay, cleaner.
Solid solds at 20 a pop.
Yeah.
Is that a hand truck?
Yeah,
Nice one.
little collapsible guy.
Mhm.
Can you tell
I have
how many?
one for the last unit too.
Tell how many's in each one of those cases?
One box is marked 96,
And there's one.
and there's one that's it's a different size. So I
4
don't know.
boxes.
There's
5.
4 or 5 boxes in there. Maybe 6, but you
Oh, no,
definitely
4.
you can definitely see 4 boxes. There might be 5 or 6. It's hard to tell.
I think it's just 4, to be honest with you.
And so if half are 90, the 2 boxes have 96, and the other 2 boxes say have 48 in them because they're bigger cans.
Is there any history?
say
For that? Is there any history for that stuff sold on eBay?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's 20 bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh my god! It auto corrected the last word. No wonder I can't find it on eBay. No, I did not mean seat.
actually you have to look it up a different way.
Because I'm only finding one sold for best off, where they sold 3 of them at $15.50.
Yeah, here, go to this.
Jason's never going to crack that safe.
There you go.
But see, that's a different company. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I looked at the prices for that company, and I found, I mean, it's like 30 to 40.
Online, they're online. You go to their website and they're 40 a jar.
I was looking at the actual sell-through rate though, on the one that the link he just sent me. Looks like every time they list it, they sell 2. That's one of those gifts that just keeps on giving the whole year, Eddie.
Yep.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice, you list. I mean, you're going
Stack
to
the
get,
cases up on the shelf, list them, forget about them.
and every time you sell one, you just throw it in an envelope.
And the nice thing is all the cases are sitting flat. Somebody's an idiot didn't put them on their side, and then they all melted in the storage unit, so they're all leaking out of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Eric, you did sell used cars, didn't you?
Not, never done cars.
Jim did.
Yeah, Jim's a used car guy.
Jim's the used car salesman.
Yeah, but you've had a couple of hundred cars. You must have
So
sold
yeah,
them.
I've sold a lot of cars in my time, but I never sold them as I'm a used car dealer. I would buy one, drive it, then want something else, sell it, and buy the next one. So
That was kind of me. I've probably bought and sold 30, 40 cars over the last 15 years or so, but I'm not actually a car dealer.
I at one point I got threatened to because I was registering so many cars in my name that they threatened to make me get a dealer's license.
I wonder how many Jim and Tara have sold over the years.
A lot, but we can't sell more than 5 in a year.
You can sell as many as you want as long as you buy them with the title open. Just say
Yeah.
if somebody wanted to.
I sold 20 cars before I graduated high school.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was buying it because it's the only way you can get it. You buy a cheap car, you maybe do a little work on it, you sell it for a little more than you paid for it, you spend that money on the next car. I mean, that's how you get a good car when you're broke as a kid. So
When he was a
Yeah.
kid, he
It
used
was
to.
like a rung on a ladder. You just kept on working up. I kept on flipping cars, so I got myself a decent car.
When he was a kid, he used to hang out with this guy named Jack Dietz, who was up here. He had Solid Gold. It was a car restoration place. He used to hang out with him, so I wasn't always talking you into investing in vintage cars and stuff.
Yeah.
well, back when we were buying cars at Jim, I mean, you could buy we were buying 60s models cars for, you know, $100, $150.
Yeah,
You know,
some 60s, but mostly 70s. You know, like
Yeah,
that
a
old
lot of
70s iron, like the early 70s stuff that now is like muscle cars and stuff is really high.
Yeah.
But that back then you could buy like a 69, 70 Chevelle for like, I don't know, $150.
Yeah.
Change the oil, give it a good wash. You didn't have power washers back then, but you just, you know, we usually just call it cleaning. Now they call it detailing. But you'd clean it up real good and you'd flip it. You know, I didn't have rust because I'm in Wisconsin. They'd be out of Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin. I mean, they'd all have rust, but you just clean them up the best you can and try to flip them for $300-400.
Yep.
Well, guys, I have to get back to the warehouse. I'll see you.
Jason.
Hey, have a good
I
day.
wonder if I could,
Thanks.
Eric, I wonder if I could get a hold of Teledyne Brown here in town and just ask them if they remember what that part was or what it was used for.
It wouldn't hurt to ask. I mean,
I hate to be that guy. You know, I always see posts where people are like, "Oh, call the company and ask." I mean, like, I think you use those cards sparingly because I just think it's kind of shitty when it doesn't benefit the company to just call and, you know, ask a gazillion questions so you can make money off something that used to belong to them. I don't know. I have a beef about that one. But then again, I mean, if it was something historical, I mean, they could be, you know, fascinated by it and be like, wow, I haven't seen that in forever. And wow, you know.
they did a lot of telemetry stuff for the space shuttle, space lab. They also did a lot of things for atmospheric laboratory processing systems.
I just can't think of why Teledyne Brown was. Yeah, they were huge with aerospace. I can't think of why they would have had something telemetry related that wasn't aerospace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm looking at. They actually had a low-cost telemetry system. That's what they're known for. I'm looking at some scientific papers on it.
Oh, send me a link to that one.
I'm trying to see if there's anything besides just patting ourselves on the back type stuff.
How'd you do last night? Did you get the gristmill?
That got ugly.
Oh Lord, no! That thing ended up going for almost $200 something.
170 if I remember.
Gunsmithing DVDs ended up at about $650, and there just wasn't. I mean, you almost would double at $650 by the time you paid eBay fees and everything. You'd almost double your money, and you'd be listing a ton of gunsmithing books and DVD. It'd be a lot of work to double your money.
Yeah.
I went really high.
Oh.
I ended up with the Teledyne Brown telemetry transmitter pieces. I got both of those. I got a Honda Accord radio, which is one that I had wanted originally. I got the little lot of propane parts for $6. Got the sterling silver bowl for $22.50 and the vintage projector for $22. I paid $16 on the Honda Accord radio. Paid $35 a piece on the Teledyne Brown stuff. So with the buyer's premium and everything else, $157.
You'll get that on the Sterling Silver Bowl or really close to it.
Huh?
You're going to get that pretty much back on the Sterling Silver Bowl. So, I mean, I can't believe that Sterling Bowl didn't go for more than that. Of course, that's what
Did the
happened.
gristmill plates go high too, or did they fall through the cracks?
No, they were.
Yeah, they ended up at like $80.
Oh, huh. I thought maybe you could score the plates at least.
Hold on, let me see here exactly. Yeah, because once I realized I wasn't gonna get the actual mill itself. They went for $82, and they're like 125 shipped. I was like, no.
Yeah. We just have a lot of homesteaders and country folk down in there.
Well, he had a lot of off-grid stuff. He had a lot of layman stuff, and yeah, it's like he was prepping because a lot of the stuff was, you know, I've got Coleman lanterns. I've got 2 of them. You know, I've got backups to everything. I've got backup stoves. I've got the grist mill. You know, the grinding plate. The Berkeley water filter system, which is, you know, top of the line. So.
Well, and layman stuff is expensive. That you even have to pay like $5 or $6 just to get the catalog.
Yeah, I don't have to. I can just drive to them.
There you go. If it doesn't run on electricity, I just don't want to f with it. There, I said it.
We're talking about vaping in the side chat to quit smoking. I mean, I think the verdict's still out on vaping, but price-wise, and when we know all the carcinogens that are in cigarettes, it might be trading one evil for a lesser evil. But if that's the only way you can quit, because you tried to quit, it's a means to an end, you know?
Yeah, I've had a friend of mine was a 40-year smoker and picked up his son started vaping and he picked up the vape pen and quit that day and never smoked again. He vapes from now on. So
I'd be really careful. And I'd be really careful what you read, because it's like anything else in this world. You know, big tobacco wants you to think it's horrible because they want to keep selling you cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know. But I think with the alternative of spending, I mean, we're spending hundreds of dollars a month on cigarettes. You know, I think the alternative, if that's what it takes to still have that hand to mouth and the feeling of the smoke coming out, and if you're a smoker, you'll know what I'm talking about, and be able to quit, and then maybe you wean yourself down from there, or whatever your end game plan is. It's a whole lot better than cigarettes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a means to an end. I mean, I think replacing smoking with vaping is not necessarily the best thing, but if you're getting out of the smoking and then getting into slowly tapering off the vaping, that makes sense to me.
I vaped for, I don't know, year and a half. I mean, I will tell you this, to put down a cigarette and walk straight into a vape was the easiest quit I've ever done. Because you still had that smoking effect thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't hard. Dude, you can make me read this whole PDF file.
You asked me. So I should have read it and just
send me a link. And he sends me a link, and I'm like, my eyes are starting to cross.
Because Teledyne Brown Engineering has supported essentially every major U.S. space initiative, beginning with Jupiter and extending through the Space Shuttle, ISS, and Constellation programs. They also work with the European Space Agency and Russian, Japanese programs. Their primary contractor supporting NASA's critical payload operations. They also work with the U.S. Ballistic Missile Defense Program, including Nike X, Safeguard, and SDI. So, I mean, there's quite a bit there.
And the thing about the vaping too is you can get different, you know, levels of nicotine, because your body is addicted to like pretty much everything as cigarettes, but it's addicted to nicotine, etc. And so you can wean yourself down off the nicotine, and then eventually, if you want to quit, you know, wean yourself off the. I mean, I just know from trying to quit over the years, that was going to be the hardest part for me, was the hand to mouth, the having that, and you can't do that with a patch or the gum, you know. Unless you roll the patch up and smoke it, which I've thought about several times. My suggestion would be, though, if you're going to start vaping, don't go to the gas station and get the little, you know, whatever, or the one at CVS. You're going to be frustrated. Walk into your local vape store, tell them what you smoke, tell them how many packs a day you smoke. Find a cool vape store. I mean, not all of them are cool. We have a couple of them that are kind of douchey, and then we have a couple of them that are great. Just tell them what you want to do. You know, say, I just need, you know, I don't need a big mod box, whatever. I just need to quit smoking. here's what I normally smoke. Here's how many, the type and brand and whatever cigarettes, and then they'll let you try them. They have the little rubber things they put over the tips, and you can sit there in most of the stores and puff away and try it and see if you like it. Because there's a lot, you can get really, really fancy with like mod boxes and control the wattage and all this kind of stuff. And like, it's been so long though since I smoked that if I vape on Tristan's now, it literally just kind of, sucks the breath out of me or whatever, but she can handle the higher wattage, or you can dial it down and all that. So it's not technically that complicated, but it makes it easier if somebody like in a store explains it to you.
Switches first.
If they're a good store, they want to keep your business, want to keep you coming back and buying, juice and coils and stuff.
Hey, Dusty, when you're talking about the patch, when I was using a patch to try to quit, you had that little brief window between the two when you change your patch. So it's smoke in between, because otherwise if you smoke while you got the patch on, it'd be too much. But eventually I smoked so much, like while in between time or whatever, I actually got to the point I upped my tolerance enough where I could actually just flat out smoke with the patch.
Oh my God.
It was awesome. My whole system was just pumping nicotine.
He wonders why his heart explodes at 55.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He quit. I had a World War II uncle who would give him shit when he'd see him smoke. And he quit like my uncle quit. He set the cigarettes down one day and didn't do anything. Just quit cold turkey.
It was Peter Jennings too, though. Peter Jennings, which I'm not a big Peter Jennings fan, but they did a lot of stuff on him because he's a public guy. And watching what he was going through, there was a bunch of things just at that time that helped me do it. So nobody's the same. Everybody's got to be in the same perfect storm to get past it. But I mean, I love nicotine.
Because when I first met him, he was trying the gum and all this stuff, and he was still bartending, so he'd end up smoking. Yeah, and he just set him down.
Oh yeah, I'd have a cigarette at both ends of the bar.
Yeah,
smoking. I mean, the guy told me, the guy I worked for, I was smoking behind the bar. He came in, he goes, come here, I got to talk to you. You can't smoke while you're working. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I've been working for him for like 2-3 weeks. So I took my beer that I bought, I sat on the other side, or I went to cash register, bought a beer, set it on the bar, and then walked around the other side of the bar and sat down on the stool and lit a cigarette. He's like, well, what are you doing? I go, oh, I quit. Because I'm not going to work in a place I can't smoke. So he decided it was okay for me to smoke. He said, just wash your hands a lot.
Yeah, when he couldn't smoke, he chewed.
Yeah,
he used a lot of tobacco.
I'm not going to work an 8-hour bartending shift that I can't smoke behind the bar. You can kiss my ass.
Oh, yeah, when you're in that environment, it's very hard.
No.
Yeah, and nobody cared. I mean, this was a shot in a beer bar. It's not like a supper club or a fancy restaurant. Yeah. I mean, nobody cared.
Back when you could still smoke in a bar.
Yeah, everyone smoked at that bar. There was there's literally maybe a fraction of 1% of people did not smoke who came to this bar. Yeah, I am not going to stand behind the bar all day and not smoke.
Yeah, Hank Allen Cash said you can do your own e-cig tanks with pre-made coils or build your own coils, etc. Lots of many options. I would just go into an e-cig store, tell them you want something basic, want something cheap, and then work your way up to, whatever, if you want to get more fancy with it later on down the road.
Yep.
I mean, Tristan started out with a basic. We started out with a little long, as big around as this or whatever, probably, and it was a USB pass through, and you plugged it in on the end, and the battery was built into it, and the tanks had the coils built into them. You just threw them away when you're done or whatever, and then she worked her way up to, once she got more familiar. And
yeah, my stepson was doing that when he was trying to quit. It was all 17,000 different vape machines showed up at the house because he'd go through one about every 2 weeks, and I don't like this one, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to order the tanks, so I got to get the coils. It's like, my God, why don't you just smoke? You're going to save yourself some money.
Yeah.
Others Mustache said, I sat down soda and cigarettes the same day, never touched either one again. Still can't believe I did it and made it this far. It only took one word for me to do it. Imperative. Everybody's different. You know what I mean? Like Tristan can put stuff down and just decide one day and put it down and walk away. like I struggle doing that. I think everybody's personality type is different too. But that's awesome.
That's good. I'm glad. If it works for you. I don't have a problem if people smoke. Personally, it doesn't bother me.
Mabel, look.
Oh God.
Oh my God, Snoopy got into the lounge. He's like,
You know what stupid move I just did?
Oh boy.
I got all my
What?
laundry done, at the laundromat,
Mhm.
and I realized I forgot half my husband's clothes in the back of the truck.
Oh no.
I won't eat it.
Like, oh shit. So now I'm still at the laundromat.
Sure, it wouldn't be easier just to take the stuff downstairs than drag it upstairs when you're done.
Yeah, but here I get it all done. These are camping clothes and everything, so I get it all done at one time.
Well, or all in 2 times.
Well, 2 times, yeah.
It's like, what the
oh
hell?
my God, he looks like a big ugly rat.
Yeah.
And that Mickey Mouse for pooping his fur.
I have a really bad knee, so if I don't have to go up and down the stairs, I don't.
You were having that cycling jersey.
She just reminded me of Lee Squiller, he had 2 nicknames, Squirrel and Lee with the bad knee.
And ironically, you're touching a squirrel and she's talking about a bad knee.
There's this guy I know, he was in Afghanistan and stuff. Anyway, he got some kind of injury where he's got a knee problem, and his name's Lee. His name's Lee and his last name's Squiller. So he had 2 nicknames. You either call him Squirrel or Lee with the bad knee.
Kind of cold.
Yeah, I have to have my left knee replaced, but they won't do it until I'm 45. It's an injury from when I worked at FedEx, but they won't replace it.
Is FedEx still going to pay for it?
Yeah, FedEx pays for it. They even pay for my weight loss surgery if I want to have it,
Oh, wow.
because I gained so much weight from my bad knee.
All right, I think I'm gonna shut it down. I gotta get ready to go to work here in a couple hours. So.
Yep.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Have a good
everybody.
day. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Who's still talking? Shut the hell up.
Well, you can't shut it down if you're talking.
Get lots of sales.